And I was just like, what? You're like not gonna kill the roach. And he was like, this isn't a booty call? And that was when things ended.
And she said, kill this roach and then leave this apartment.
Hey friends, hey fam, what's poppin'? I hope you guys are doing so super well today, staying hydrated, living your best life, checking in with your friends, your family, your heart, and your mind above all things. My name is Janae, and I typically post home decor and lifestyle videos right here on YouTube. And today, we doing da-da-da, we doing da-da-da, because we're doing a little
Story time.
Yeah, we're doing a little story time. We had this video idea a while back to share some of our New York City horror stories, best moments, worst moments, and figured some wine
will definitely help.
Will definitely help. You want to pour yourself a little glass, take a little sip. We're gonna take you on a trip. But before we dive in, we did want to just give a little disclaimer. We love New York City.
New York is crazy, but that's why we love it so much.
That's why we love it so much, and we don't live there anymore. If it's your first time here, we're in LA now, but we do miss New York a lot. So this is not a hate on New York type of video. We love that city. If we were rich, we would probably move back someday. The tiers will be 10 out of 10, would do it again. Worth it for the story. I did this to myself.
No one to blame but me.
Throw the whole city away. And then lastly, I'm dead. I'm alive, but I'm dead. Pretty much that's our version of like, we'd be happy to walk in front of a moving bus after this happened.
What the hell?
What the hell?
What the hell?
Coming in hot with our first New York City moment.
I love this story. I do.
It was our first year in New York. I'm from North Carolina, and I had just been very blessed to not have ever seen a cockroach in my entire life. Anyway, I was home alone. Yeah, there was a cockroach in the house. I lost my mind. I called my mom crying, standing on the couch sobbing. I was like, okay, I'm gonna leave. I'm in my pajamas. I'm just gonna leave. I left, went to a bar in my PJs, and waited for this guy I was dating named Vasilis. I was waiting for him to come and handle the roach situation. He gets there and he's just going around with the broom, little roach. And I was just like, what? You're like not gonna kill the roach. And he was like, this isn't a booty call? And that was when things ended.
And she said, kill this roach and then leave this apartment. He killed it, right?
No, he didn't kill the roach. What? The roach, eventually I stayed up all night. I called off of work the next day because I couldn't sleep because I was so miserable. Yeah. Then I went and took a shower. The roach was in the shower curtain. Broke up with a man for killing a roach. 10 out of 10 would do that shit again.
He deserved it, honestly.
Our next New York moment would be when we got spat on the train by a stranger. It was a loogie. It made contact with our flesh.
We were on the subway early on a Saturday, minding our own business, going to the beach. We're trying to be fun. So we were in a conversation.
And with our other friend Brittany, there were 3 of us. And then this man, he starts yelling at the top of his lungs, and he was hovering.
What are you
over the
looking
3
at?
of us?
You think you know me? We're like, what do we do? Do we say anything?
He was like, I know what you did.
Oh,
he was like, what? We weren't freaking out too much, but then he just kept yelling. And I'm telling you guys, he was this close to us, like right up in our faces. And there were other people, no women, there were other men on the train. None of them said anything. Nothing. We finally make it to the next stop and he goes to get off the train. We think we're in the clear. And he looks back in slow motion and goes, and he launched that soggy MF all the way to us. It hit our sweet, beautiful friend Brittany.
Poor Brittany.
Right in the face. You know,
ooh, gets on Janae's hand. It didn't get on me, but I was still traumatized by the experience.
We had no wipes.
No wipes.
This is no wipe. I guess the most shocking part is that no one helped. And we would move that to throw the whole city away.
Done.
Moving on to the next one.
Me and my roommate at the time witnessed a robbery at a 7-Eleven. We were actually going to see Janae. The man started acting crazy. He just was like, I'm gonna rob this place right now. And there was a whole altercation with the people who work there. Probably throw the whole city away. I mean, I don't know, like, that was kind of worth the story, but I don't wish that had happened for anybody.
She out here willing to risk it all for a story. This was our Brooklyn brunch resume. It was a great Saturday morning. We went and got brunch and we got really drunk because someone gave us a lot of shots of tequila. Next thing you know, we're just roaming the streets. I'm shocked we were not blackout. I don't know.
You
may have been. Actually, I guess I was, but I don't remember what
stopped a
happened.
man who was street performer doing guitar work on the
he was a
street,
street performer.
and she literally hounded him down to get his number.
The next morning, I woke up with an email in my, little doohickey Gmail account from this nice girl, and she was like,
"Hi, Miss Brown. It was so lovely meeting you yesterday in the streets of Williamsburg. I'm gonna be here in the States for another 6 months, and I'm so looking forward to working for you. Attached is my resume."
I was like,
I think the funniest part about that is we literally worked at Yelp. So who are you helping?
that one, I was worth it for the story.
Yeah.
Actually, no, 10 out of 10 would do it again. When I got home drunk and alone, and I'd get home to my front door in Brooklyn, and it's not like, my front door that takes you to the house. This is the door to get into the actual building. And there is a cockroach in between that door and the stairwell. And instead of just, walking, I chose to stand in front of my apartment for about an hour. At night, crying. I was just sobbing because I could not go in. But thankfully, a man, you rarely would think a man, rarely. But one did come by finally, and he was like,
"Is everything okay?"
and I was like,
No, everything is not okay. There is a roach in between my door and the stairwell.
and he handled business. He came in there, got that bitch out, and I went up. And for that one, the only option is I did this to myself.
You did.
Yelp. Not using the app, but actually working for the company. It's actually how we met, by the way.
Yes, we met at Yelp.
I will complain about working there probably till the day I die.
I just associate Yelp with trying to find ways to get hurt.
Not enough to go to work.
Yeah, not enough to be really hurt, but enough to skip out on work, And she was like, "Let's go in the stairwell and trip down the stairs. We'll throw a Skittle down." You said a Skittle.
My horror story from working for that company would be when my manager and my director got word that I was considering leaving the company. They brought me into a room, a little conference room, shut the door, and literally wouldn't let me leave because they were just trying to convince me on why I should stay by insulting me. They printed out my resume and were like,
"Your resume is laughable, and you would be a fool to think that anyone in the city would hire you."
and I was like, well, this is great. I was gonna give you a two week notice, but at this point you're gonna get an immediate resignation because this is on some real BS.
I mean, it's hard because we met each other.
Right.
So you'd want to say 10 out of 10 would do it again because we met.
But also, we could find other friends.
I'm dead.
I'm alive, but I'm
dead.
Okay, the next. This was not funny because it was actually scary as hell. 1 minute you're matched with some bro on Tinder, the next that bro's inviting you to a T.I. concert, and you're just like, I guess. Essentially, there was a shooting, a real pop, pop, pop. Everyone's running. I got trampled. My shoes came off. My purse fell off. I was on the floor, couldn't get up. I made it outside. No shoes, no purse. My date, however, I can't trash talk him because he did go back into the venue to get my Madewell bag.
I remember watching videos on Twitter. I was and I texted you. I'm like, "Oh my God, are you all right?" And I saw a video of a purse. There's people scattering in a purse. She was like, "That's my purse." It was funny.
The worst part of this whole story is that he takes me home and then has the audacity, this video should be called The Audacity, to try and make out. Y'all, it was our first date, 1. 2, we just went through a near-death experience.
Traumatized. Are you serious right now?
Is this the time for a sexy kiss?
I mean, I've heard that life or death experiences bring people closer together, but read the room, you know what I mean?
Read the room. Throw the whole city away.
I finessed my way into the front row of an SNL dress rehearsal taping. You can't buy tickets to it. You can't put your name on a list to put your name in a lottery. When we were in line, we were really selling ourselves, and then they came up and put a little wristband on us.
And put him in the front.
Put him in the front.
Now you also know how to finesse your way to the front row.
Ooh, 10 out of 10 would do it again.
How about me stealing a $500 bottle of vodka? I have never committed anything wrong in my life. But then I had whiskey for the first time. That's where this story went south. Long story short, apparently I just felt like queen of the world and thought it was okay at this nightclub we used to go to.
Hotel Chantel.
What's up, you ratch, you nasty? Apparently, I stole a $500 bottle of vodka from someone's VIP table service, and proceeded to shake the bottle off.
Not champagne, have you? Like, you can't really, like, you know.
Yeah, this is straight poison.
Vodka.
And then apparently chugging it down my throat, and then I got kicked out of the club. And then I proceeded to get kicked out of 2 Ubers on my way home. I wish I could remember the instance, but I do like hearing the story, so she a bad girl for life. Oh, wall to wall, wall to wall. This one's dope because yours truly lived for 2 years wall to wall to wear Biggie Smalls, B.I.G. Oh, it was all a dream. I used to be What a Magazine.
From the fucking Muppets.
Anyway, I lived wall to wall where Biggie Smalls grew up.
Okay, first of all, this doesn't fit in any category because it's not like she moved into this place knowing Biggie lived there. She literally lived there for like a year. Somebody mentioned it to her, probably on the subway. We should verify
It was
this information.
Elaine.
We should verify this information. And then she literally talked about it nonstop. Until now, we're still talking about it. I used to live where wall to wall with Biggie. I used to live wall to wall with Biggie. Oh yeah, in Brooklyn. Yeah, at wall to wall where Biggie Smalls used to live.
I would put that at worth it for the story.
And I would put that in, I'm dead. I'm alive, but I'm dead.
Pop, pop.
I was
Minding your business.
minding my own damn business.
Shaking that ass.
Shaking that ass. We were at a bar in the Lower East Side. A big group of us.
Ooh,
like we were
large.
like rolling deep that night. And this crazy person came
Truly
through
crazy.
like a freaking tornado.
Limbs everywhere.
Everywhere. All of a sudden I'm like, what's this? Pop! She came
knocked
out
her
of
down.
nowhere. I mean, it could have been, I think it might have been her elbow, to be honest with you. She
It was her
elbowed
elbow.
me. She like came down like this. Pop! And we had to step out of the room because I didn't know if I was, you know, there.
Blind or not.
Blind, you know, broken nose, cheekbone shattered. I don't know what happened. But then for like 2 weeks
Her
I had,
eye was black.
it was going through different color phases.
She looked terrible, y'all. It was disgusting. I honestly, every time I saw her, I just had to go like, hey girl, hey.
You know, worth it for the story.
Worth it for the story. This is just a lot of bladder, a lot of PEE. You know, there were just a few instances where I didn't make it to the bathroom. New York City's lack of public restrooms is a real bitch, okay?
You have no one to blame but yourself.
Throw the whole city away. I didn't do this to myself. There were a few times where I didn't make it to a public restroom because I didn't have a choice. Once was when I was stranded on the train for 2 hours because we were stuck underground.
Okay, that one is fine. The second one.
Because we were on our way to a music festival and I knew I was gonna be drinking, so I chugged an entire giant bottle of water on our way to Govball, and then the train got stuck for 2 hours. And eventually I couldn't hold it anymore and I had to just go in between the 2 train cars. The worst part was walking back onto the train with my wet footprints.
Her pee prints.
Anyway, the only other time I peed in my pants in the
Only other
city,
time?
okay, one of the other times was after a Yankees game where my boss got me very drunk.
Okay, she got stuck at the crosswalk from where her apartment is.
That was so
And
close.
she was just standing there. She just let go.
I couldn't.
You know? She stood there on the street corner and let go.
Thankfully it was raining, so maybe people didn't know if that was pee or rain. Fleet Week?
I don't know if this is a thing in other places, but in New York, there's a thing called Fleet Week, and it's when the Navy docks at the Navy Yard, and they're there for like a week. And then
Hot boys.
Hot boys are running around the city in their uniforms, like, you know, mixing it up. And one year, I was mixing it up with them, and to make a long story short, really sugary margaritas. I may have pulled my top up. Bra on. I did take a cab home. I had to like map out my directions to make sure I wasn't gonna get murdered or
A
kidnapped.
cab from Manhattan to Brooklyn.
To West Village to Bushwick. The minute I thought I was close to my house, I was like, oh, I'll get out here because I was gonna vomit. Took 2 steps, vomited all over the sidewalk. And then I looked up and there was like these guys hanging out on their steps. They just looked at me and I shot them the finger guns. I walked 2 blocks in the wrong direction, had to turn around, walk past them again. Walked in my house, and anyway, it was 7:30 p.m.
This bitch crazy. How
Wait
would you
for the
rate it?
story.
Waiting for the story? Okay. Park day. We went through a phase where we really enjoyed going to the park and day drinking with music, snacks, booze, and a lot of friends. Oof.
But Janae, one thing led to another. Drunk. She's drunk, people. Drunk. And not only did she really just give this Uber driver the runaround on the phone.
Oh, I don't want to know.
We get home to Janae's apartment to all hang out and like wrap up the night. The guy to girl ratios are 2 really good guy friends, and the rest were like probably like 5 or 6 ladies.
Yeah.
And Janae just thought you should do like a public service and really do a tutorial. Got up there and did a TED talk on how to please women and how the clit's important and this and that.
I must have just taken it upon myself to help
But
society.
no one started the conversation. Like there was no like any kind of prompt. I feel like she just decided that, you know, she'd been thinking about it maybe, and you were just like, let me just tell these guys what you need to know.
I can't blame that on anyone other than I did this to myself.
10 out of 10 would do it again.
I would probably not do it again. Oh, no. Henry the mouse. Oh, you had mice.
I had mice, she had mice.
There wasn't just one mouse. There were a lot of mice, and they would crawl into my bedroom. I got so paranoid one time. I got this expanding foam and filled all the cracks on my door, and then I couldn't open my door, and Elaine had to like come and like knife me out. The mice thing for New York,
It's just a lot.
and all you hear is like,
and then this.
not the scratching. Oh my gosh, no. So for the mouse thing, yeah, I'm dead, I'm alive, but I'm dead. That was pretty much it, baby. Thanks so much for watching. If you made it this far, you already know who you are. You the best. You the baddest.
I love you guys so much.
And we'll see you in the next video. It's been real. It's been fun, but it ain't been real fun.